Good morning, everybody. Again, we are back with another interesting case about a doctor who was a fitness freak, 55 years practitioner, who used to walk daily 5 to 6 kilometers every day, and he had a habit of consuming Ayurvedic energy enhancing products daily. Now, this man, he was admitted to me with the pain in abdomen, vomitings and loose motions. He was unconscious, his blood pressure was on lower side, that is 100 systolic, and he had a very irregular pulse with long intermittent pauses. So, we are worried. We tried to find out the history where the relatives, they told us that he had consumed the same concoction of Ayurvedic products which he used to consume every day. That was then we got his ECG done. The ECG showed junctional rhythm with severe bradycardic pauses, and because of these pauses there was hypertension, hypoxic convulsions, he was hyperkalemic with potassium dangerously above 7, and because of the bradycardia we tried to give him atropine bolus doses. He did respond, but only for a few minutes. Again these bradyarrhythmic pauses, they continue to come intermittently. Now, due to the long pauses associated with convulsions, we were compelled to put in a temporary pacemaker. He was okay on TPI pacemaker for a few hours, but then developed ventricular tachycardia which degenerated to ventricular fibrillation. So, DC cardioversion was attempted, but he was okay with that. The rhythm reverted, but again he continued to get runs of ventricular tachycardia. We had to put him on injection lidocaine, which also did not help. So, I added phentoin, but he did not respond. We compelled to administer amiodarone, which we are not very convinced about its ability, but we added amiodarone, but ultimately he responded to again repeated defibrillation. These are the ECGs where you can see that he has long pauses. He has bradycardia, junctional rhythm, long pauses. These long pauses, because of which he had hypotension and hypoxic convulsions. These are the long pauses, and he had junctional rhythm. So, we had to give him TPI, temporary pacemaking, and on temporary pacemaker his rhythm did settle down, but he continued to get junctional rhythm, junctional beats. He also had runs of ventricular tachycardia, at times degenerating into ventricular fibrillation. And these are all kinds of arrhythmias which he still continued to get intermittently in spite of pacing him. So, we tried to piece this thing, GIT symptoms. He had pain in abdomen and severe rhythm disturbances related to heart, hypertension, secondary to this long pauses. So, GI symptoms and bradyarrhythmias, long pauses, hypoxic convulsions, hypotension, hyperkalemia, that alerted us that something is really very wrong with this man. We secured his airways, intubated him, put him on assisted ventilation, and IV fluids, tried to stabilize his BP with inotropes, IV fluids, antiarrhythmics, antibiotics, corrected the electrolytes, and on routine management we continued along with multidose activated charcoal for about 3 days. Every 6 hours we gave him charcoal to break the enterohepatic circulation of what all toxin may have been there in his body. The electrolytes posed a peculiar problem. Is hyperkalemia was resistant to treatment. Initially we gave him glucose insulin bicarb drip, but the hyperkalemia took some time to correct. We avoided calcium and beta agonist calcium because calcium itself can, because of the dangers of hypercalcemia, and beta agonist we avoided because of it is pro-arrhythmogenic. Hemodialysis ultimately also helped in correcting hyperkalemia and acidosis. Hypokalemia, we did not allow the potassium levels to drop below 4 milliequivalents, nor did we correct his hypocalcemia, which was borderline. We just gave him magnesium to correct his hypomagnesemia. Now, the question arose that what must have caused this? There is a history of consumption of a health concoction. They told us that he used to consume Gurvel. Gurvel, that is a Ayurvedic product, Ayurvedic plant, which is consumed for its health benefits, and this man used to consume it daily. He used to mash the Gurvel tubers in water, boil it and drink that concoction every day. There was no other history of ingestion of any other drugs, any pre-existing cardiac disorder, and the toxicology screen was also inconclusive. So, we tried to study what this Gurvel was. We found that again that corroborated our earlier findings that Guruvel is an Ayurvedic product. It has immune supporting, regenerating, detoxifying and antipyretic properties. It boosts immunity, treats chronic fever, improves digestion, treats diabetes. There are so many health benefits of Guruvel, and it's pretty common, pretty popular in the within our Ayurvedic practitioners. That the plant has a heart-shaped leaves that resemble beetle leaves, has various names like Madhuparni, Amrita Vallari, Chinnaruha, Amruta, Chakra Lakshanika, Devanirmita, Vatsadani, Somvai, and so forth. Now, since this plant is well established in Ayurvedic circles for its health benefits, we doubted whether this plant was, this concoction which he drank was responsible for all those complaints. But then we asked the relatives to bring the main plant which he had consumed. So, the Guruvel plant was asked to be brought, and so we to help us with the diagnosis. And we roped in few Ayurveda practitioners to help us with the diagnosis. Two of them, they concurred that this could be Guruvel, but one practitioner was adamant that this is not Guruvel, this is a clone, this is a poor clone of Guruvel. It looks like Guruvel plant, but this is not Guruvel plant. This, he said, that it is a rubber vine plant or rubber vale what they call it as. Now, rubber vale, it looks like Guruvel, but is a different plant and is a poisonous plant. It has various names. In Marathi we call it as Vilayati Vakundi, rubber vale, in Hindi rubber ki bel, doodh ki bel, kala rela, bulvalaya bel. Tamil, Kannada have its own name, Hambur rubber gida, Malayalam they call it as Palai, Kauli, Garuda Papali, and so forth. So, but it the stump, it oozes a milky sap, a milky substance that it comes out of the stump. This contains rubber, but the exploiting this rubber for commercial work, commercial benefits is difficult. These are the photographs of rubber vale. This is the stump which oozes a milky white substance. The flowers are pink, purple, white purple, and phytochemical screening of this various extracts, they showed that it yields glycosides. Glycosides are substances that they have a steroid moiety and carbohydrate moiety. They have that even digitalis is a glycoside. So, the phytochemical extract showed that it has glycosides, flavonoids, fixed oils, fats, phenolic compounds, proteins, amino acids, tannins, gum, mucilage and carbohydrates. The leaves, they yield cardiac and saponin glycosides, tannin, flavonoids and proteins. Hence, it is an irritant and poisonous plant. The leaves are reported to have toxicity. The milky white latex looks like a natural rubber, but it is very difficult to tap for commercial purposes. This plant has got some antimicrobial, antiviral, analgesic, anti-molluscidal, anti-inflammatory, antioxidative, proteolytic properties, but then overall it is a poisonous plant. In Madhya Pradesh, the root paste is applied externally on chest to cure asthma. In Andhra Pradesh, the whole plant is applied to wounds. Now, the toxicity of this plant, it manifests as hyperkalemia, heart block, thrombocytopenia. The leaves, they cause GI symptoms, cardiac, electrolyte and hematological disturbances. The toxicity resembles digitalis like symptoms. Now, these cardiac glycosides, they inhibit the cellular sodium potassium ATPase pump, which enhances the cardiac inotrophy or the contractility and slows down the heart rate. So, the ECG you will get severe bradycardia. Thus, this plant, which contains glycosides, it causes its cardiac toxicity by virtue of the reversible inhibition of the sodium potassium ATPase pump. It increases the intracellular sodium there and also decreases the intracellular potassium. Now, there is a sodium calcium exchanger mechanism, because of which there is also increase in intracellular calcium along with sodium. This calcium now stimulates the endoplasmic reticulum to still more secrete more of calcium, and this adds to dangerous hypercalcemia. And because of this excessive intracellular calcium, there is enhanced cardiac contractions, which manifest as premature ventricular contractions. The cardiac glycosides also have a vagotonic effect, thereby we get bradycardia and heart blocks. Now, this inhibition of this pump in skeletal muscle results in increased extracellular potassium and contributes to the hyperkalemia. The cardiotoxicity is very typical of these glycosides, and what you get is a prolonged refractory period in the AV node. In the AV node, you get a prolonged refractory period, whereas in the atria and ventricles, you get the shortening of the refractory periods. So, the net result is increased automaticity and depressed conduction suggestive of cardiac glycoside poisoning. These glycosides are also found in other plants like Digitalis purpura, Digitalis lanata, that is the foxglove from which the commercial digoxin is extracted. The nerium, common oleander, it is so common, yellow oleander, common nerium, common oleander, lily of valley, then squill plant, coabane, dogbane, wallflower, even the toad, toads, these are consumed in certain parts of Malaysia and other, they are believed to have aphrodisiac properties. So, they consume this toad, but the venom gland of cane toad can result in cardiac glycoside poisoning. So, the take home message, my dear friends, is self medication with Ayurvedic medicines is dangerous. Always cross check the veracity of the product. Exercise discretion with the quantity of the ingested drug. Use minimum dose and report early for any untoward unsolicited symptom. Now, this particular case, this doctor was a fitness freak. Every day he used to consume, after his long walk of 6-7 kilometers, he used to consume this fitness drink, that was gurvel mashed in water and boiled, and that concussion he used to drink. But the other day, it was his bad luck. His assistant brought another plant which looked like gurvel, and he consumed the same concussion, thinking it to be his earlier gurvel. But by his bad luck, this concussion which drank contained cardiac glycosides. These glycosides, they affected his heart, they disturbed his rhythm, they caused heart blocks. Ultimately, we could stabilize his cardiac rhythm, but he succumbed after 15 days because he already had suffered many anoxic ischemic encephalopathy episodes secondary to convulsions. Thank you so much.